Mr. Graham, it's Upside Down World. This show is being released on a day, but it's being recorded before the main show because somebody's got to, get a lot of fresh air.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It's prepping.
My liver's thanking us for this already.
Your liver, I was already probably 3 shots deep of 99 banana roulette this time last year. I believe I infamously just went, Connor Cody, went Lester. Fuck, I'm done. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Smells of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to DU Does EFL, a completely brief bias recap of the English Football League as told by 2 common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, the man that can never get any rest, ever, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing, sir?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I do appreciate that. On the ones and twos is producer Mel, who frantically is ripping up packages of fresh air on camera when there's no camera because the show's... No, it is being... Oh, my goodness. Well, it is being then recorded. How about that? Hey, producer Mel, you want to hop on and say hi since I said on the ones and twos, acknowledging your existence?
Of course I'm recording this. Your sewing circle would be very annoyed if they weren't able to see your beautiful faces.
Have a little more smoke. We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, apparently streaming tonight, too. Just recording.
Streaming. We're just recording. I'll stream it later.
Whatever the fuck it is. But should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Sure. It's at DU Football Show on all the social media, at dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Welcome to the shit show.
It just already started.
I know. I'm so tired.
You want to get high? I'm so fucked up right now. I would like to say we're drinking the same shit as before, but we aren't because Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout the show and every single show. Mr. Graham, I went digging into the whiskey room and I found a bunch of fun-ass samplers and I went ahead and pulled a couple for tonight, each show.
Yeah, sounds great. So this first one that you pulled out is the Wild Turkey Masters Keep Decades. This was number 3 a few years ago.
2017.
Yep. With a score of 94. Its ABV is 52% by volume. There'd be 104 proof. Cost you around 150 back then, which is cute because now it's a lot more than that.
And it's about 250 now. And also, by the way, you can't find this bottle. It doesn't exist anymore, except for the way that I'm about to tell you how we did it. But please read the
exactly
first.
Wild turkey often exhibits a delightful earthiness, and when earth meets sweet in whiskey, it's a beautiful thing. Wild Turkey Masters Keep Decades achieves a rich texture where deep tilled soil, fresh cut grass, and mushroom meet leather, dark chocolate, followed by dill, oregano, and oak. Caramel and vanilla explode over a heavy dose of cinnamon. Master distiller Eddie Russell mingled barrels ranging from 10 to 20 years in order to strike this balance and complexity. His method displays the potential of combining extremely old stocks into batches with younger barrels to build a great whiskey. That came from Fred Minnick, who is a writer for...
Not just a writer, motherfucking master distiller. He's who was with Four Roses that went on to do Cream of Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
That's Minnick. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I
thought that was Rutledge.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. That is Rutledge. Sorry, my mistake. Minnick, believe is a distiller, though. I could be wrong. I scratch that. I could be completely fucking wrong. I did mix it up completely with Rutledge.
It's all right.
Happens to the best of us.
COVID don't exist. I get it. Sattery.
Look, they're turning the frickin' frogs, K. Graham. Well, fucking pick up the goddamn glass of whiskey and drink it, Mr. Graham.
I'm so out of it.
Sorry, Russ. So allow me to
Guess I'm fucking yawning.
fucking mention the time that I had this whiskey for the first time was with one Mr. Mike Rice. He had bought a bottle of this, ended up taking it up for a bachelor party with his good friend Dave, and everybody was bringing a good bottle, and people were bringing like Macallan 18 and stuff like that, and Rice is like, I don't know, man. It says Wild Turkey. Like, this is before, Wild Turkey had already been known as a brand, but people weren't really recognizing the great shit that Wild Turkey was doing. This is the whiskey that made everybody know that. It's also the very first time that I met his fantastic son, Keegan. That was the first time I ever hung out with Keegan.
Awesome.
And this whiskey is fucking as amazing as I remember it. It's
very good.
Really good.
The dill is standing out more to me than it did previously, from what I recall. And I do get a bit of that oregano on the back end as well. It's delicious.
It is fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, it's just...
And Keegan is awesome.
It is just, man... deserving of number 3. Wish it was still $1.50 a bottle.
I know, right?
This was one of those ones that if we had done the list back in 2017, would have told you, yeah, you'll find this in liquor stores. You'll find it in liquor stores, and you'll find a couple bottles in a liquor store.
Right.
Now it's like you got to plan ahead and make sure you're part of the allocation fund and all that, because they're fucking hard as shit to come by.
Pretty much.
We got last year's Turkey's Master Keep simply because of friends making sure we had it.
Right.
Yeah. But also to play along to that, how many times have we seen Masters Keep on this list? I think like 4 or 5 times since the list has been out in 2017.
Right.
In the 7 years of the
it's definitely
list.
been on the last 2, and then this one from 17.
Yeah.
So it's been on 3 different ones.
It's just
sure.
It's always on. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's always fucking.
It's very good.
It's always fucking incredible. So what else do we need to do, Mr. Graham, besides yawn?
Always remember to drink responsibly and get a full 8 hours of sleep every night.
How about I give you a little cheers there? Very good.
Cheers, buddy.
I broke out the Riedels tonight, so
the ting ting is nice.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Ting ting.
Ting ting.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
Hey, I was in the middle of a sentence. Show some respect. Smoke something. Why don't you?
Yeah. Get back to smoking something. Is she done?
Oh, good. It's getting close. Must be.
Jesus.
Must be getting close. She's already lost stuff.
Mr. Graham, Sunderland keep rolling as they hand Pompey their first loss of the season 3-0 and sit alone at the top of the table as Dubblades beat Watford 1-0.
Well, Pompey also helped Sunderland a lot in this game. I don't know if you saw the very comical own goal that Pompey scored. They absolutely deserved their loss simply because that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's you can't expect Pompey to come through and just go ripping through the league. They've only on 3 draws. Hey, there's going to be days like this. The key thing for them: stay up, establish, become part of the furniture again, which is what Sunderland has done, and which is probably why you currently see Sunderland at the top of the table, because they've spent a couple of years up here getting used to what the championship is again.
Right, absolutely. And the other piece to that too is, I know we're recording this before the main show, but if you can establish yourself, you'll probably be playing Southampton next year and get your derby back.
Yeah, I would love that. Leeds on a bit of a roll. They got a victory 2-0 over Hull City, so that's 2 in a row for them. West Brom, who is currently 3-1-0, sitting in second, while Burnley drew and have slipped to 6th place already. So after that great start of 2 just mammoth wins, a loss and a draw, and there was also a little bit of talk with their sporting director and talking about the team, and there was a little bit of scandal going on behind that. I'm going to find out more from Brett and see if he can give us a little bit of a report on it.
Well, Scott Parker was given a pitch side interview after a game, and he was like, "What have you changed? What are you coming?" He goes,
you mentioned this last week. He was like, none.
So what do you expect?
Yeah, very precisely.
At some point, it's going to go wrong if you don't have a fucking plan.
Plymouth, Luton, and Cardiff sit in the bottom 3, and all lost this weekend, as Millwall have gotten themselves out of the bottom, beating Wednesday on a Saturday, 3-0. That bit never gets old.
It does not. I'd worry for Luton here. If they can't start stringing a few results together, I think part of it was their goalkeeper still being out from the rampage he went on.
And Ipswich got Ogbonye, the big, tall striker that did so well. The one besides Chris Morris, who was scoring all the goals for them, he's back in the Premier League. He got signed by Ipswich on deadline day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll find out more later. Smoke again.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. She's just immediately popped right in the mouth. It's great.
So it's
I could get her to do that on a regular basis with other things.
Might be a little happier around here.
All right, keeping it rolling. The championship will be off for the international break as a lot of players,
especially
around the
Eastern
world.
European teams, have a lot of players in the championship that actually get called up for their national teams.
Scottish and Irish players too.
Oh, yeah,
you
big
get
time.
a lot of that, and also, frankly, just a lot of English players, but they're not. A lot of times it's U18s and U21s that are English players that are playing in the championship to, quote, get toughened up before they're ready to make their main England debut. Stockport still sits atop of League One, but they did draw a familiar foe. Mansfield Town got them 1-1. And Wrexham has moved into second place as they beat the Posh 2-0.
Their story is just still amazing to me. Now, they way overplayed for a few players, obviously, while they were still in the conference. But they've just rolling that momentum, getting promoted into League Two, and then getting promoted into now League One, right?
Yeah.
And they're sitting near the top of League One, if not the top of League One, right? You said second place they are?
Second place right now.
Yeah, I mean, that what a story of momentum. I mean, Ipswich, obviously, which we covered recently in the Getting to Know You shows prior to the season, were back-to-back promotions.
Right.
Very rarely do you see 3 times.
Yeah.
The last that I can remember in our kind of football fandom really was, didn't Swansea get promoted like 5 times in 7 seasons or something?
They did.
And 2 of those... 2 or 3 promotions were back to back. Then they spent like a year in the championship, then got promoted to the Premier League or something like that.
Bournemouth went from League One to Championship to Premier League. But that's
So they did 3 in a row.
It's only 2 because it was League One, Championship.
2 championship and then 2 Premier League. Right, yeah.
Which is what Ipswich has just done, which was League One to the Championship.
But I'm talking about Wrexham going from non-league to fucking the championship. I mean, that'd be intense.
I think you're starting to see a lot more of the checkbook FC kind of topic out there and everything.
Yeah.
My rebuff to that would be the following: is this team was always a championship side well before everything fell apart. So
but everything fell apart to such an extent.
Yeah,
you'd say, like Newcastle are a big club, for instance, right? PSR has kind of stopped them or stifled them, or their lawyers are scared to allow the owners to spend money, or whatever it is, whatever it happens to be. But they were historically a giant club that's kind of put their thumb on having the Premier League's thumb on their head, holding them down, it seems.
Yeah.
From being able to do what they want to do with this newfound wealth.
Right.
Why this hasn't really affected Wrexham in the same way, I wonder if they may very well have been smart and savvy and put the show in the club's name.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, I would imagine the show. I would imagine the major. Think about it. It got like United fucking Airlines to be a sponsor. That is on a level of sponsorship money that a fucking like. You're kind of set up to not go into financial problem as long as you don't go down, right? The key thing for them, remember that year that they did get promotion, if they didn't get promotion, they were fucked. They were absolutely fucked, if you remember that from the show.
I do, absolutely. But so if that becomes an asset towards the club, then it's not the owners putting the money in. That the club is making the money from that venture. So that could be a loophole that Rob and Ryan have figured out. I don't know.
So talking about a couple of old championship clubs, Reading beat Charlton 2-0, and Bolton lost their second straight of the season and sit in 18th place. But what is the most concerning, Leyton Orient, the O's, every Londoner's second club, is 0 wins, 0 draws, and 4th place, and currently sit in dead, and 4 losses, and currently sit in dead last.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
Yeah, not at all.
That's not what you want to see.
Oh, if you were really jonesing for some footy, now they all play different opponents, but you've got 4 matches, and of those 4 matches, Barnsley plays, Charlton plays, Wrexham plays, and Mansfield Town plays over the weekend. So if you don't want to watch international friendlies, that's something you could probably find on Paramount Plus. I'd imagine there's going to be a few games.
Hey, careful. The very important Nations League is on.
Everybody, yeah. Woo.
You can see England in D2.
Yeah. Aki drew Colchester 1-1 in League 2 and still sit just above the drop in 22nd place.
Our teams aren't doing very well here.
Staying at the bottom, the Shrimps still don't have a point as they lost 1-0 to Newport County. Here's a little problem here. Newport County and Notts County are both in League 2 right now, and that makes it confusing as fuck because Notts County came down from League 1.
Yeah, the reading aspect is going to be huge here where you comprehend what's actually written.
Newport is the potato patch.
Yes.
Notts is Welsh. That's what we have to remember.
I think Newport's Welsh.
Okay. Well, Newport's still the potato patch. The one that
true.
has hosted
City
multiple
Premier League
monster
opposition.
truck rallies. Far more important than Premier League opposition.
In the FA Cup, right. No, but that's where we became aware of Newport County.
Now, your hated rival, Gillingham, is sitting still undefeated at the top of the table, but there are 3 clubs at 3 wins, no draws, 1 loss. That is in order: Wassell, Barrow, Newport County, Doncaster, and Wimbledon.
Oh, AFC Wimbledon up there.
So a nice little congested top going on.
Old school name there, Wimbledon, being around.
Very good.
What I would say about Gillingham, though, is I have on good authority from people that know the area much better than I do that it's also a shithole of a town. Not just a shithole of a football club.
There you go.
So the whole area can go fuck itself, apparently.
Yeah, and everybody, mind you, the reason why Graham does not like them is because an imaginary team on an imaginary podcast.
No, it's a real podcast about a fictional team.
About a fictional team. Their rival was Gillingham. So he hates Gillingham simply because the imaginary team had to play him and didn't like him so much.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
Mr. Graham, I'm going to steal parting words from you real quick. I did forget to mention, as far as the League Cup, we advanced, fortunately, our only win of the season. We talked about the other one earlier that we're going to talk about in the future. Anyways, my parting words is the following. English FA, get your shit together. The beauty of a League Cup, of any cup competition, is that it is a blind draw. Taking all of the teams from Europe and very specifically setting them out that they would be playing a team that advanced. That's how they set it up this time, is absolute bullshit. The beauty of a cup draw is it could be Arsenal and City face each other in the 3rd fucking round.
Yep.
And that's just what the fuck it is. And by doing this, the clubs that are already in Europe don't need the deck stacked for them, and you're stacking the deck for them. Like, they're already the better club. They're already the better side. I know it's annoying. It's just annoying, and it's annoying to not just the lower league sides who then have to maybe go to, like in this instance, Bolton has to go to Arsenal, right? And Villa is going to Wickham, right? There's no need to do it. There's just zero need to do it. And I find it just thoroughly annoying, to be completely honest. Your thoughts?
I mean, how's it be? I guess I don't really understand your point as to how it's being stacked for them. What do you make of it?
Instead of it being a blind draw,
completely blind, right? Like they're pulling balls out of a hat.
It is. They took the 6 teams that are now entered into the competition. They put them in a row, and they pull out of the group and go, City will play this one. Arsenal will play this.
It takes them out of the thing.
There's no chance. Weird. There is no chance that Arsenal would play Villa or City would play Man United.
Now, I've never watched the League Cup draw before.
This is the first year they did it. This is
this
the
is the first year they've...
and it's bullshit. It should always be a blind draw.
Yeah.
It should always be a blind draw. That is the very essence and spirit of the cup. Is that, you know,
that's
David
weird.
could face Goliath in their building,
But why? But you also
the
take
best
away
2 teams in the country could be facing each other in the next round. Like that's that's the beauty of it.
So how did they get the home and away then?
I don't know how they went about that. All I know is that they had those names. They might have had them pulled separately, like had the group separately, and just went, this one will be pulled as a home team. This because like Villa's on the road.
On the road, right.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they've... So normally what you would see, like in the Champions League draw, for instance,
Right.
is you would get pot 1 has the coefficient of X whatever.
Right.
Pot 2, so they do tend to avoid each other for those competitions.
That would be Mel smoking more.
Yeah. The last puff of the last one didn't go down so well. She went old coffee there for a minute. But so you would get those teams would avoid each other, right? But there's only a certain number of clubs. So if your coefficient was 9.5 and my coefficient was 9.4, that might be the cutoff. We end up in pot 2. So you would still get 2 teams, pretty good teams at least, up against each other.
But it's also the Champions League, and that's how it's been set up all along.
But they also pick pot 1 for each group first, like
Right.
that. And the competition is done home and away. Done. It's different this year.
Yeah.
Was done home and away. You were guaranteed to play at both places, right?
Precisely.
So the fact that they would just pull pot 1 like that without doing anything else seems odd. Now, I get it if you want to pull pot 1, pot 2 like that.
Yeah.
But you would go, but that still even takes away the risk of facing.
Yeah. The whole point is
Getting 2 big boys against each other.
It's a blind draw, and and remember last year there were big boys against each other.
And
you had
the big boys end up
City going to Newcastle,
especially in the League Cup. The big boys end. I mean, think of the last 6 winners or so.
Yeah.
They've all been. Yeah, we've had 1 team in the championship make the final in the last decade.
Oh, it's always a big boy.
And that's it. It's always big boys anyway.
Why do you need to give him a fucking extra hand?
Well, except Spurs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why? I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. So
That's weird.
That's my parting words. Is that's fucking bullshit. It really is.
That is bullshit.
And and we play Southampton, so Southampton will get their first win of the year because they're playing us at Goodison. So we'll fuck it up somehow.
Yeah, big time. That's starting to sour very quickly. We'll come on to that. The only other thing I'll say, just so Geckel doesn't have a conniption, we'll talk a bit more on the main show. But because he did play for Leeds a ton, we should mention that Sol Bamba passed. Mm-hmm. That'd be the only thing in my piece of parting words here.
Yeah, especially because it's EFL as well.
Well, right, because Geckel was on it first when in the group talking about it. He, spent a couple of years there and was given the captaincy at one point while it was still a loan move kind of thing. Like the great character, good person. He was 39 years old. He had beaten cancer once. Apparently came back with a vengeance and got him. But he was only 39, and he was the technical director at a club in Turkey when they got the news. And the outpouring of just love has been insane. But we'll a little bit more detail on the main show briefly. But that was it. Just wanted to make mention because of the Leeds connection and Cardiff connection as well. We should mention because of those two. We should obviously talk about a little bit on this show. And RIP Soul.
All right, next up is Injury Time, where we're going to preview 2 weeks from now action and talk about fantasy and the limited beers that we have been drinking. So, Mr. Graham, should somebody want to find Injury Time, how do they go about doing it?
It's patreon.com/Steve Football Show. Just sign up to that $5 tier to get all of our extra content. And we just found out you'll also get ad-free shows because apparently bitches be advertising, which we didn't know.
Yeah.
And Sam went on a rampage over 63 cents.
Goddamn right I did.
But
that 63 cents belongs to us.
That's our first advert.
Yep, very good.
I like it.
Thank you.
You didn't do anything.
Smoke more. She already started smoking more.
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
Till next week, everybody.
I did everything.
I thought you hadn't finished filling the proper forms out yet. They just did it for us. Pretty sure it's what you said.
We're never going to get to the main show. Till next week, everybody.
Good smoke. Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye. high and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United! Hit the fucking mute button.